Hey, what's up, guys? Just go over a couple of trades that we're doing and then look at the numbers. Pound went up the most, 9.22, and New Zealand went down the most at 9.55. Aussie is following New Zealand. Swiss will be following JPY. It may also be following dollar, so we just have to watch the two. Or dollar may be following Swiss, something like that. If we see that, then we'll really get some fuel for pound and euro. Yeah, so that's what the numbers look like. Pound is clearly the strongest today. We're in a dollar CAD trade and a pound Swiss trade, and some Aussie, pound and Aussie, pound Aussies and euro New Zealand's, I believe, still. We are going to go over these though, because they were quite clear at the time of what will happen. I'm not going to go over all of this again, but we know of how this is actually working and telling us the truth, because I did that in the last video. So we're just going to go simply and look at it now. There are the two lines. Price was below the level. There are the two timelines. Price was below the level. At this time, we were confirming it down here that it being the strongest, weakest currency at this time relative to the other ones, which you can have a look at later in your own time, because I just want to show you from this perspective now. USD yen was confirming this. At this time, CAD was obviously above the level and no signs of weakness here. Same here. So we took a short on dollar CAD at the worst possible price, as usual, to test if we are correct. Okay, I have no idea where this is going to go, but we will get out when it tells us to get out. And the pound Swiss, at the moment though, what it's saying is CAD yen is strong, and CAD is strong. This is most likely ongoing, as that was the weakest during that time. I hope that makes sense. The pound Swiss is, which we did earlier, but we'll just go and have a look at that anyway again. We also know in euro, during this time, you've got euro is weaker than pound, but if all of that stuff's going down, then euro can catch it. So this looks weak, however, relative to the dollar, it was not as weak. So this was not a sell euro dollar at all during this time. Okay. Also, the euro will show us here. This was not a sell during this time, even though it's closed lower. It's not a sell. You can see price is up here. It's not down. Okay. the Swiss looked like, and that the important thing about that is why it's important to look at another one is if you know 100% the euro's saying down and it's strong down, you and Aussie and New Zealand were up, for example, you're not going to want to sell that pound uh, because it needs to go with this currency. That's what it does. It trends with it. Um, Relative to the other ones. So, hang on, let's just quickly look at this pound one, pound Swiss. Okay, these are the levels. We are above the level, and here it's pushing up at this time. So if pound is that strong and everything else is doing what we were seeing, euro is going to go up. It's going to want to follow that, especially with Swiss down here, you know. So yeah, I mean that's the trade. It wasn't that difficult, um, and there it is. So I'm quite happy with that, and we'll simply get out when all of this tells us to get out. The only other thing that would stop us would cause put a monkey wrench into this thing is if we saw a strong conviction of yen LFX going up, and we are seeing this here. However, pound Swiss relative to this is still able to go up, right? So you've got an LFX up move and pound Swiss is still able to go up. This is telling us that this is very strong. Because in the recent days, any LFX up move would have caused pound yen and pound Aussie and pound New Zealand, they would have dropped. Any small move, it drops. So now we're turning, and this is what I've been saying is going to happen. We're likely to have chopped down in LFX soon. Just be patient. Don't expect to hit a home run in a day. You're dead. They need to get people out, right? And the existing sellers need to get out for a profit. So if you get the reversal and it's gone up, just don't buy it. Like, just wait until the pullback, because there's always another pullback within the reversal. It just if it's a V-shaped reversal, it's not real. It's going to take it out, because a V-shaped reverse, unless it's in line with a long-term trend and it's simply just a pullback. That's why you got to look at all of these things. But don't have the mindset all the time that there's going to be a V-shaped reversal, because there just never is. It's so rare, it's ridiculous. And if it ever happened, then you know why. And especially if you see the whole pound index as a whole is not going to do a V all in one shot. There will be clues with the pound relative to the other currencies, right? So I mean, this could just drop now, and then we buy it again. Yeah, I mean, it totally could. So this, they've everyone long, anyone like us who got lucky, but we weren't in Swiss because it wasn't ready yet. We were in the Aussie and New Zealand. Here, it dropped. Well, that's because the existing sellers still need to get out for a profit. So that always happens, especially in a real reversal. So now it's come back up again, burning any sellers here. They're all now gone. The original buyers have bailed because of this, and yeah, I mean that's it. But it could still do this one more time. Who knows? But just don't buy it here unless this tells you to buy, and then you just put a tiny stop loss and see what happens. That's how you can do it. That's one way of getting in. But at this point, I wouldn't be entering this. It's crazy. but we will come back in a couple of hours and try to find another video, do another video on a new trade that we're going to do in this exact same concept. The reason I want to do one like this more frequently, short-term trades like this, is because we want to see results right away, and we should know the direction of the market all the time, because a Formula One driver always knows the direction of where he's going to turn next, and he is a professional. Well, if we're playing in this game, we should also be professionals, and we should also know when and where this thing is turning, and how to recognize when it's not. And that's what we should be that good. It's that simple. So we are striving to get that good. So we will come back in a few hours, and we will try to do a high margin trade at the worst possible time, on purpose, to see what happens, because we should know exactly where it's going. But yeah, thank you guys. Hope that was a helpful video.